Welcome to the Celtic Way, Celtic v Hibernian lineup reaction and match preview. I'm Tony Haggerty at Haggerty10, and I'm joined by Ryan McGinlay at the Ryan McGinlay on the Twitter handle or X handle, and he's coming live from Parkhead. Ryan, how are you?
I'm good. Yeah, sorry, we're a wee bit later tonight, guys. I was scrambling to get to get through the traffic because it seems to still be rush hour as we speak. Rush hours, more like it's definitely a plural. And then I was getting this graphic sorted so that we could have something to talk about with regard to the team. I'm sure we've got plenty to talk about, even if we didn't have the graphic. But I felt like it would be good. You know, we've got certain people in the comments that are desperate to see certain players starting in this match. I'm looking at you, Michael Ross, and he's finally got his wish tonight. But we'll get into that in more detail in just a wee bit.
Indeed. First and foremost, we say thank you to our sponsors, and tonight's briefing is brought to you by MPH Group. They're Scotland's award-winning family-run all-trade specialist covering all of mainland Scotland. And with winter rolling in, and if you're thinking of giving your home heating system a boost, MPH has an enticing Navien Boiler Winter Promotion just for you. And if you opt for a Navien Boiler installation through MPH Boilers, not only are you choosing top-tier efficiency, but you're also getting a free Navien Internet Controller, and that little gadget can crank up your boiler's efficiency to an impressive 98%. And the cherry on top of all of that is that they're covering the first-year service with no added costs, and MPH even offer flexible finance options. So gear up for a winter chill and consider making a smart move with MPH and Navien, and you'll find all the links to MPH's social media sites and telephone number in the description of this video. Ryan, we were talking about it on Monday. We thought 2 out of 3. 2 out of 3 ain't bad, as they say, as the song says, but Brendan Rodgers has gone for 3 out of 3. Tomoki Iwata, Mikey Johnston, and in the starting lineup. Big surprise is that Kyogo is out of the starting lineup. Comes in to his position and his place. But the 3 guys that made their impact on Sunday getting their chance tonight, Ryan. It's what we kind of said would happen. I said I tossed a coin and mulled over coming in for Kyogo. Wasn't too perturbed if that happened. It's happened. So surprised by that team, or is it what you kind of expected?
It's one of these teams where on paper you want it to work and you're worried that it doesn't work in fruition. Yes. That's a good thing about a bench. But no, just right now before the game, really, really excited to see the players that have been selected come into the team and let's see what they can do tonight, given a starting berth, you know, especially Iwata, a guy that's I think's been starved of a first team opportunity this season. Now he's getting his big chance to show that he's capable and show everybody that he's ready to assume that number 6 role. You know, Cal McGregor's might even have a new lease of life tonight, playing a wee bit further forward. Might turn out to be the case that Iwata plays forward as well. We don't know exactly how they're going to line up, but we would assume that Iwata is going to be the number 6, and that allows Cal McGregor to sort of venture forward as a number 8, have a wee bit more freedom. Be interesting to see if he still has the legs in which to do so. I know he's only 30 years old, but you know he's not played that role. What is that, about 3 years now? So it will be interesting to witness him play that role. Looking at Johnson really deserves his spot in the team. I know it's easy to talk about and Iwata, but it's important to mention the fact that Johnson deserves his spot. Not sure exactly if he's going to be on the left wing or the right wing. I went with the right wing because we want to be playing our best players in the right positions. Palmer's a left winger. He's better on that side. But we know that Brendan Rodgers, as Ange Postecoglou did before him and as Neil Lennon did before him, he likes to switch the wingers during the game. So it would be very fluid, I would say, in those positions. They can change it during the game to cause Hibs even more problems. And up front, absolutely delighted to see him up front. I wasn't sure if Brendan Rodgers was going to give him the nod over Kyogo. I'm quite happy he has, in all honesty, because I think that deserves his big chance in the starting lineup. The last time he started, I believe, was against Ross County at Dingwall, and he did everything but score in that game. I thought he was absolutely tremendous without hitting the target. I know he scored a bit given for offside, but I thought he was tremendous in that game. Was a real thorn in the side of then Malky Mackay's Ross County team. So yeah, delighted with those changes, delighted that there's some consistency in terms of players getting rewarded for their good work coming off the bench, and let's see what they can do.
We've given Iwata the big build-up, so hopefully he turns in a performance. And obviously, Ryan, Brendan Rodgers watches the morning briefing because we've been saying this all week, haven't we? That Iwata and Johnson would certainly come in, and we weren't averse to O coming in. So clearly, Brendan Rodgers a wee nod to us as well with his team selection. So happy about that. And Hamish this morning said he wanted to see O. So big up to Hamish. He said he was erring towards O and all 3 Impact subs from Sunday coming on. So you and I both got 10 out of 11 in our starting. If Hamish had done a starting 11, he would have got 11. So we'll say well done to him for that. But that's what you're here for, these opinions, guys, and we certainly don't flinch from giving them. But let me know if you're excited by that team, guys. I think a lot of people are saying they are excited by that and all worthy of his shot, and also they're excited to see Iwata in the team. Some people saying that they still prefer to see Kyogo in the team in the starting lineup, but that's the manager's gone with that lineup tonight, Ryan, and hopefully they can have that quick start. Very quick start was the words Brendan Rodgers used, wasn't it, in his press conference? So hopefully that turns out to be the case.
I think the players that have just came into the team tonight will be hungry to show why they deserve to be included in that team. I don't think you'll be getting any of the attitudes that you've seen on Sunday against St Johnstone. I think there'll be a couple of hungry players out there to make a difference in that starting lineup and to ensure that this isn't just a one-off. They're here to be main players from now on and get more starting performances or more starting places. They can only do that by putting in good performances in goals or assists or tackles, whatever position they're in. They've got to do to the best of their abilities. Johnston's got to take on his man. He's got to be good in those 1v1 battles. I think they're still needing a good performance from Mikey Johnson at home to truly let us believe and understand that he is ready to take these fleeting performances into a more consistent basis. With Iwata, we know how good he is from his first 6 months at the club. Can he do it in a Brendan Rodgers side? I guess time will tell in that regard. The only time we've really seen him, apart from the fleeting appearances, was at right back earlier on in pre-season. So it's good that Iwata is nowhere near that position and he will be playing where he's most known for in the defensive midfield, either that or the number 8, depending on where Brendan Rodgers has positioned him. And O's just got to score goals tonight. He's only as good as his service, of course, from Palmer and Johnson and the midfield players as well if they want to play it centrally. But if he gets those chances, he cannot scuff at shots. He's got to get good connection on them, and he needs to ripple the net basically and score a couple tonight and really throw the proverbial cat amongst the pigeons with regard to the striking position, because he'll have been hearing all of the rumours over the past couple of days about new strikers coming in January. These players, they might say they're not on social media, but they know all about links and rumours when they happen. They're just like us in that regard. He'll know that there's links with other strikers in January. He'll be saying, right, I want to make Brendan Rodgers believe that he doesn't need another striker, that I'm ready to take up that mantle, even though the Asia Cup's looming. So there'll be plenty of fire in his belly to do well tonight, and I'm hoping to see a good performance from O. And he's one of these players that I'm happy. I want every player to do well, but it seems like with O, I want him to do even more well than other players, because you can see the endeavour, you can see the hard work that goes into his performances. Brendan Rodgers talked about the fact that he keeps his body right, keeps himself in tremendous conditioning, does all the stuff off the pitch. I think he's been having a couple of conversations with Matt O'Reilly in that regard. But I like a guy that really dedicates himself to his work and his craft. I just hope he gets rewarded tonight with good service and in turn good goals.
Yeah, these players don't exist in a vacuum. Of course, will be aware exactly what's going on off the park in terms of Celtic's transfer, and that's another reason why he'll want to shine. Lots of comments coming in, over 200 people joining us live, so thank you for that.
I thought that would be the case tonight, Tony, especially with the change of the team. Plenty more to talk about, and we welcome absolutely everybody that's in the stream. Just to put your comments in, we'll try and read them out.
I'll throw some in. Mark McDonald, evening, Mark. Good to see Tomoki get a start. Bit of extra height and muscle in the team. Michael Ross, so pleased Iwata is starting. Yay, there you go, you've got your wish. Shug says Iwata with an assist tonight and O for 2 goals. Hope you're right. Love it. Oh no, Kyogo with the sad emoji. Adam Black, I think that lineup is strange. I don't know if he's talking about our lineup and the thing, but over Kyogo, he's not so excited about that. Marquis different, he's excited about this team. Hazel Finn, even Hazel, how you doing? I like the look of that team pick. It'll be interesting to see Kyogo come off the bench. Maestro 95, the ball's in from the wings for Big O. He's predicting and love it, saying, sorry, Kyogo always starts for me, but truly hope O can show up and do well. Christopher Patterson, even Christopher, surprised Kyogo's on the bench. He thought Brendan would have played two strikers tonight. Never ever seen him do that. I thought he would do that, but O's got the nod. Maestro 95, happy to see Tomoki Wata get a start. Mark O'Neill just wants a quick start tonight, Celtic. I think most people want that too. Michael Ross come back in. Most fans have wanted to see Iwata play. He's got his chance tonight. Marky, looking forward to seeing Iwata, O leading the line, and Mikey Johnson's shown the Celtic supporters he's a true team player. And Jerry O'Rossi, and let's hope Iwata can live up to expectations. Maestro 95 saying Iwata and McGregor can dovetail on that midfield. That's true. They can be interchangeable, can't they? Which is
I'm really looking forward to seeing that. That's one of my things I'm really looking for.
Yeah.
That double pivot could be good tonight in that regard.
Good team on the boys, says Helen Feeks. Evening, Helen, how are you? Mark O'Neill saying Celtic need a quick start tonight. Michael Ross come back and saying Iwata needs a run of games. Maestro 95, Kyogo off the bench. Stephen Mitzi saying big performance from Palma. He feels it in his bones, or maybe that's just the cold.
It's a bit of both.
So Finn coming in saying, don't think a spell on the bench will do Kyogo any harm, given time to recalibrate, and it's not all his fault because he needs service. And so that's just a flavour of the comments coming in. So, and there's still more comments coming in. So, Shug saying, nice to be watching live, always listening when he's at work making deliveries. Good to have you, Shug. How you doing,
Thank you very much.
I appreciate it too. And Kaelan Smith says Michael Johnson needs to put in a good performance tonight if he wants to have a future at Celtic. Stephen Mitzi saying anyone will do. There you go. A dovetail double pivot. It's all happening tonight, says AR. There you go. Claire McVeigh just puts in 3 Celtic emojis.
Oh, I like this.
Riley. Yeah. Thought that would get down well with you, sir. Yeah.
You best believe I'm using that as a headline.
And Kyogo's a perfect sub for leading and Hibs are chasing the game. So, yep. O'Reilly partnership. There you go. If Celtic win and both of them are protagonists, then Celtic the life O'Reilly. It's all there, isn't it, young man? It's all there, as they say. Hopefully, we are talking a good game and Celtic play a good game. Edward Y of Oz, Mikey Johnson, he sleeve his mark. He's no fool, man's shot. Go. And Mandy Brown coming in. Even Mandy, how you doing? Hope we don't start the way we did on Sunday. It was like watching a schoolboys team play, to be honest. We played like second half and the 3 points are in the bag. Chris Murray saying quick start tonight. Good to see Big O and Iwata start. And Jay simple Iwata ball. There you go. So Ryan, all sorts of comments coming in. Nearly 250 people joining us live. Thanks, guys. We knew you would have your say on this. If you've been watching the morning briefings all week, we've been kind of predicting more or less that team to play. The big toss in the coin for me was O for Kyogo. Myself and Ryan both went for Kyogo, but we weren't averse to Brendan Rodgers thinking that he would do that. So slightly different. We'll see how it all pans out. Ryan, looking forward to it immensely. That is the team more or less that we would have played, substitute O for Kyogo, fair enough, or other way around. But certainly there's in a Paul McStay only an excuse style, there's a buzz about the place, I think, Ryan, now. There's a buzz about this feed here, the comment section as well, and you're looking forward to it as well, aren't you?
Yeah, definitely. There's players that have been wanting to get a start for a wee while now. I think O's deserving of his start duties, his cameos. I said that the only way, and I said this morning, the only way that third goal would have been even better would have been if James Forrest had squared to O for the tap in, because he truly does. I know James Forrest gets the clearance that gets the ball away in the St Johnstone attack, but O wins that 50-50 in the middle of the park that allows Tomoki Iwata to run with the ball. yeah, I'm just glad that two of those players are getting rewarded because of that. I thought O came on and was a complete nuisance against St Johnstone. He caused them problems for the whole time that he was on the pitch, and for that, I think he deserves it. It's a quick turnaround as well. You've got to manage Kyogo's games. He has been playing a lot of games, so I don't think he's been dropped out of the team all of a sudden. It's just this is sometimes what happens. And in January this year, we were thinking, well, at least I was thinking that O will be a player that eventually will be able to start some games and Kyogo can get a rest. He can come on in the second half. It seems as if now that could be the case. That O is ready to take that next step and be a main player at Celtic. I would love him to consolidate his place tonight with a good goal or two. He's a player that's very streaky. I think that if you get him a goal, then he won't stop scoring. I think if he starts to get the flavour of scoring in consecutive games, I know he didn't score the other day, but if he could score tonight and then bring that into the weekend at Rugby Park, then it would put him in a really, really good place going forward in the season. As a striker, you've just got to get used to scoring goals, and if O begins to do that, then it's going to be difficult not to play him in the team, and then Brendan Rodgers will have a choice to make with regard to Kyogo and O. The other players that we talked about, Iwata deserves his shot. He really does deserve his shot in this team. No one else has really taken that position and made it their own, which is why there seems to be a bit of a swap around now. Bernardo hasn't really taken his chance. Turnbull, although he scored, was disappointing in the last game. Though that wasn't all his fault, it was just due to the way the game was going as well. I would say Odin Thiago home, a lot of pressure on him at 20 years old. He'll be in and out of the side, but I'm sure he'll be a main player in the next 2-3 years. So you might as well play Iwata in this game. This is his big chance to show that he can be that number 6. And yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how he does, especially next to McGregor. That double pivot that people are talking about. Hopefully that comes to fruition and it's a success for Celtic, because that would be something that'd be really, really exciting in the midfield to witness. Hopefully it looks as good in person as it looks on paper at the moment.
Comments come flying in, so here we go. Hazel Finn again. Will be a good pick for tonight. He won't be bullied off the ball. Think it'll be a tough match, but please let Celtic start quickly with a goal. Claire McVeigh, morning Claire, evening Claire, defo good choice with O on, and Edward Y of Oz. It'll either be oh yes or oh no post match. We'll see. Time will tell. Maestro 95, be interesting to see how Celtic defend corners tonight. It most certainly will. Marquis saying it's good that O's got us all questioning the potential lineups. And Claire Best, evening Claire, how you doing? Good to see you all getting a chance. Surely this will wake you all go up now. Come on the hoops, she's saying. And James Floyd saying, come on boys, give us a top performance. He's certainly buzzing. He's used the word buzzing. So, yep, everybody is... I think there's a lot of excitement about this. Stephen Mitchell excited for tonight after our second half against St Johnstone. Scott Dougal, big chance for O tonight. Hopefully a goal or two. That's what you're hoping as well, isn't it? And Doc Boy 67. That's the lineup we've all been going on for him. Hopefully they deliver tonight. Exactamundo. Here's hoping that they do deliver tonight. And keep the players hungry, says Maestro 95. It's a squad. Remember, it's a squad game. It most certainly is. Ryan, I'm excited for that lineup as well. Can't wait to see what kind of start Celtic have. I'm looking at those players and thinking they've got a wee point to prove. The others who were in the side got the half-time rollicking from Brendan Rodgers will want to atone and make amends for that and just make sure that Celtic get the job done tonight in a clinical, professional manner.
I just think they've got silky players all over the pitch, even despite the changes in the team. You've got the duo of Palmer and O'Reilly, who are walking statistics in terms of goals and assists. That they'll bring them most games. O'Reilly's back on the goal trail. Palmer, even though he didn't get any goals or assists, he made the most key passes for Celtic in the game against St Johnstone. So it wasn't down to his lack of deliveries; it was due to the finishing of the other players that he was servicing. But yeah, I think Palmer's a player that, just due to the way this lineup has gone, he's went under the radar. But this could be one of these games that nobody's talking about Palmer before the game, and then after the game, everybody's talking about Palmer. He's that sort of player. He is the star man. He's the star man on the wing.
You're certainly hoping that, aren't you?
I think most people are a fan of him, to be honest.
Loving the look of that team, and Celtic don't even have Hattati or Maida available. Scott McGill saying this is Mikey Johnson's do or die game. don't know if I'd go that far, but it's certainly an important one for him personally in terms of getting his confidence levels up, and we'll see what happens. But yeah, he's been making an impact in the games that he's came on, so I think his confidence levels will be sky high with Brendan Rodgers giving him the nod to start this game tonight. Really important game. Ryan, 20 minutes in, are you going to give us a prediction, fella?
I think both teams will score. I'll be perfectly honest with you in that regard. I think Nick Montgomery has really got this Hibs team motoring quite well as well. They're an informed team. The last league defeat they had was against Rangers at Ibrox. So, you know, in that time that they drew with Celtic at Easter Road, they've not lost a game in the league. The only game that they've lost is in the League Cup against Aberdeen, which was a bit of a shocker in their view. You know, they've played well against Aberdeen twice, and they probably should have 2 wins, but they've got one. That's just the way the cookie crumbles, unfortunately. But Nick Montgomery seems like an up and coming manager. You know, they've certainly done their scouting with him. He came from Central Coast Mariners in Australia. Not the first coach to come from Australia or round about those parts. So it's good to see new faces come into the league. You know, new voices, different voices. Always think that's a good thing, and it's good for the game as well. Even though he is from England, he's been based a lot of the time in Australia, so that's a very different appointment for Hibs to take. By all accounts, it's going well for them so far. Both Hibs and Hearts are in good form at the moment, so Edinburgh seems to be thriving at the moment with regard to football. It'll be a difficult game tonight for Celtic. I believe both teams will score, but I think Celtic will score more goals than Hibs in the process. So if I'm going to give you a score prediction, then I'll go...
Getting back to the original question.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm like a politician. I'm 4-1. Give me a 4-1 today. I fancy some goals. Yeah.
Okay, Matthew Blair goes 4-2. Maestro 95 5-0 to the champions. He's saying Hazel Finn saying 3-1. Scott McGill saying 2-1. Get your score lines coming in, guys. 3-1 Celtic says Shugs, and 4-2 says Michael Ross. All for Celtic. So 5-0 says Luke Pitt. There you go. So, yep, lots of people saying, and Stephen Mitchell saying Palmer will have a big game. You heard it here first. I'm inclined to say 3-1 Celtic as well. Mandy Brown saying 3-0, but a win's all Celtic need. It most certainly is. And Claire Best saying, am I correct that Celtic haven't beat Hibs this season so far? It'll be tough as Hibs are on a roll and the manager seems to favour the young lads, but she's saying 3-1 Celtic with Oh What a Night, the headline. 3-1 Celtic says Sandy Fraser. Yep. Don't usually give a prediction, Tony, but I think it'll be a tight game, says Michael Lee McSee. If that's fair enough. You don't want to give a prediction, no worries. 3-0 says Martin Davey. And Scott McGill saying, just hope that Celtic can play them off the park and put on a show. Exactly. 2-0 says Caelan Smith. And Jamie McLaren, 6-0 Celtic. He's a wee bit more optimistic. Edward Viava's pessimistic. 2-2, he says. Good enough. You're entitled to your opinion, Edward. There you go. And Stephen coming in with your prediction saying there'll be goals. He's saying 9-3 Celtic. So there's a wild one from Stephen. Yep.
I think he's bashed his head in the keyboard and got the first 2 numbers that came up.
4-1-0-2, and Cal McNo'Reilly says David, he'll welcome on this Celtic. So yeah, lots of people confident about a Celtic win. Roland O'Brien saying 3-0, and 3-0 says Gary Goss. So there you go. Matthew Blair says regardless of the score, fans know that Celtic will always put on a show at Paradise. So there we go. David 67. If Celtic score early, it'll be 5-0. But if as bad as a start of St Johnstone, then he's going for 1-0. And Edward Moore saying Iwata and O to score tonight. I'm just reading these as they're coming in, guys, because I know a lot of you are excited about that team. And myself and Ryan are delighted with that team because it's more or less what we predicted. We're happy about that. We like to think that we know a thing or six about this round ball game, Ryan. Association football game. Never call it soccer. It's never soccer, ever. All right, so get that out of my chest. And we're here pre-match. We'll also be here post-match once we've divvied up the Q&As from the press conferences and stuff like that. But we'll be on with our instant analysis. That'll be straight up as soon as they can after the game's finished, and we'll be back, won't we, Ryan? At some point
Certainly will be
after the game's finished. Michael Lee McSee, 7-1. There you go. A man who doesn't make scoreline predictions, and he's given his 7-1.
Probably a reason why then, if that's the case.
Frank O'Brien, 2-0, come on the hook, he says. There you go.
I see there's quite a few comments coming in here regarding my clothing choice for this evening.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Somebody asked if I was taking Ian Wright's, if I was wearing Ian Wright's jacket. And I took it upon myself to find out what that looked like after you and Hamish were talking about it today. I wish I could be as stylish as Ian Wright, but I would not do the man any justice whatsoever. One thing is for sure, yes, I will be waterproof tonight. Thank you very much to everybody for getting involved with that, to be honest.
Brilliant then. AR saying, will Ryan's jacket burst if you jab it with a pin? No, it most certainly won't, because he's a bit of a fashionista as well, Ryan. So I know exactly that it won't burst with a pin. All right, take it from me. It takes a fashionista to know one. He gets his fashion sense off his old dad. So it's all good. Isn't that right, sir?
Yes, absolutely.
Claire Best says she wants his lottery numbers. I don't know whose lottery numbers she wants, but hey, there you go. And there we go. Excellent. Guys, I'm looking forward to this no end. That team has got us all purring with excitement. Here's hoping they can deliver. The 3 impact players from Sunday, Tomoki Iwata, Mikey Johnson and Oh Hyung-Yu start tonight. That's the big news. Gives us plenty to talk about, Ryan, in the group chat, as well as write about in the instant analysis, because I think all eyes will be on those 3 in particular, won't they?
Yes, absolutely. Those are the 3 big talking points. But it's up to the players that are in that team that aren't really getting talked about at the moment to be the talking point after the game in a positive sense. You know, these guys have got a lot of eyes on them tonight because they've been thrust into the starting 11. It's up to players like Palmer, O'Reilly, McGregor, you know, even your defenders like Johnson, Taylor, Scales, Carter Vickers, even Joe Hart, if he's a busy man. Just going to name the rest of the team that aren't those 3 players, to be perfectly honest with you. But it's up to them to show that they should be the main talking point and not those players that have been brought in. So yeah, the gauntlet is been laid down to them. Let's see if they can steal the headlines.
Claire Best come back in. She was talking about the guy that never gives predictions, so that's Michael Lee McSee. That's whose lottery numbers she wanted. So Michael, you can do the honours and put them in the group chat. That would be excellent. Scott McGill saying, "Morning hoops, indeed." And is it cold, Ryan? Are you feeling the effects, or are you all right? Are you well wrapped up?
It is 2 degrees just now. I can just see it on my car dashboard at the moment, so it's not too cold. I assume it will get colder later on as the evening progresses, but
Indeed.
Hopefully Celtic keep me up with a couple of goals to get me off my seat. Fingers crossed that is the case. You know, it's always easier when Celtic put in a good performance. You don't mind standing out in the cold after the game talking about football. If Celtic have got a good result, it's the opposite. If they don't get a good result, and not the latter.
Indeed. Thank you, guys. Over 250 joining us on the live stream. We think that's amazing, and we always appreciate your comments. That's why we're best. She prefers the 3 degrees, Ryan. There you go. When will she see you again? Will she see you post-match? Won't she, sir? So there you go. Lovely
Absolutely.
segue into that. That's probably one that's shot over your head. It's a 3 Degrees song. When will I see you again? Popular band in the 70s, Ryan, but hey.
Yep, I know who the 3 Degrees are.
That's all right.
I don't know any songs, but I know they're a band.
Well, one of their songs was called When Will I See You Again? They're a big hit. All righty, just thought I'd get that in there in case you were wondering what that comment was all about. But there you have it. Guys, we will see you again post-match. Here's hoping. It's always result dependent, isn't it? I always say that. Dennis Jameson saying 3-1 Celtic, and Maestro 95 saying supreme performance tonight. Hope all of these things come true. I hope the 3 guys who've came in do the business. Edward Moore, hat-trick incoming. Would love to see that.
Before we finish off, Tony.
Go on, Ryan. Yeah.
The fact that Tillio's back on the bench tonight as well. Maybe we should just talk about that just for 20 seconds or so. Delighted to see that he's back on the bench. He's shown after he's the only one to make the bench out of those 3 players that were talked about in that press conference. So maybe shows that he had a bit of a reaction hearing those comments yesterday. If that's the case, then absolutely brilliant, and that's the sort of attitude that you want to see. Hopefully, if the game is done and dusted, then he can come on and show what he can do for a bit longer than the 7 minutes he got against Motherwell the other week. So yeah, if Tilly was coming on the park, then you would assume that's because Celtic have the game done and dusted.
Job done. Yeah, I'd like to see him for 15-20 on the assumption that Celtic have got that job done indeed. Ryan, you get yourself into that stadium. Guys, enjoy it wherever you're watching it. Thank you for joining us on the stream. As I say, we read out a lot of the comments there, and we always enjoy it. Well done, lads. Great show as always, says Scott McGill. Thank you, Scott. Appreciate that. We'll be back. Here's hoping with 3 points tucked in the hipper. Another 3 points, and Celtic stay 8 points clear of the chasing pack, Ryan. That's what we want. We'd like goals. We'd like a performance. Just take the win. First and foremost. At least. Yeah, 8 points at least. Correct. Guys, we'll see you as soon as we can after the game once the work's been done. Ryan, thank you very much for your input.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for all your input too. Go and enjoy the Celtic, hopefully watching Glasgow Celtic putting on a show. Cheers, Ryan. Take care.
Thanks, guys.